Welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing. If this information interests you, please press the like and subscribe button and press the bell for notifications. Now, one of the things that Maitreya said that really stuck with me was in one of his messages, he said that the only real sin is the sin of separation. Now, it's not a hell-worthy sin, so just because you believe yourself to be separate from everybody else, it doesn't mean you're going to hell or anything like that. In fact, I'm of the belief that the idea of heaven and hell, it comes from the idea, the falsehood that we are living, we're separate and unrelated from everybody else, especially God, right? Because in reality, there is nothing but God. Everything is God. Maitreya also said the other thing is that let the pagan worship the stone, because if it wasn't for God, there would be no stone, right? So, we would think that it would be something that you shouldn't do, right? But for him, it's like, just let him do it. He even says that if, let the thief steal, because if it wasn't for the hand of God, he wouldn't be able to steal anyway. It's about detachment. It's about love. That's just the way he rolls, right? But we all see things as separate and unrelated. The fact that people believe themselves to be separate from God or could be separated from God after death and get thrown into hell, I got to be honest with you, man, I see it as an evil to say that and to think that and to be told that more than anything. I think we're just wrongly educated, in a lot of ways over the years to think that that's the case. Nothing could be further from the truth, because there is nothing but God in the world. But yet it makes it easier to be corrupt when you think God is kind of over there somewhere and you could be over here and he can't see you. It makes it easier to be destructive toward one another when you see yourself separate from one another. When all the great teachers, including Jesus, talked about nothing but oneness, that's the reality of the situation, right? Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is at hand. He doesn't say you went there after you're dead, but yet hell comes from the idea that we think that we're separate. But we create our own hell in our lives all the time based on that, right? We get depressed, we get, whatever, right? Whatever it looks, because we believe ourselves to be separate, which is, of course, what? A lie. Now, taking it one step further, right? Looking at these miracles. There's a lot of people that have had miracles in their faiths, right? Catholics have had the visions of the Madonna and weeping icons and stuff like this. And they, of course, to them confirms their own beliefs. But they might not realize that Muslims are having their own miracles as well, right? Or if you're a UFOologist and you have a lot of experience with UFOs or have seen crop circles firsthand or maybe seen a UFO flying in the sky or a video or something like this or whatever, right? And you believe that 100%, you might not think that has anything to do with the Hindu milk miracle, where people put up little spoonfuls of milk up to the statue of Ganesh and whoof, the milk disappeared. Or if you're a Christian and you see crosses of light in homes or something like this, you might not have any idea that has anything to do with the fall of the Berlin Wall, but yet they're all related. Maitreya and Benjamin Creme has been saying this for decades that they're related, and they are, because it's showing the fact that, one, we're moving into a new page in our history where we're going to be living more life more unified, right, than we are today. But it's also showing us that and pointing the way that Maitreya and the Masters are about to come out, or actually are coming out, right? Now, taking it another step further, right? We view things as so separate and unrelated. In this country, for instance, right? We believe that our greatest thing in this country and the greatest ideal that we could possibly think of for the United States is what? Freedom, of course, right? The country was founded on freedom. It was founded on freedom, and at the time there was slavery in the world, or slavery in the country, right? But yet we were a free country. Back in the day, we were free, right? And it's taken centuries to get to the point where we have a more of a sense of, equality than we did back then, right? It's still not perfect, but it's getting better, right? But for the most part, you see what I'm saying? And yet today in the United States, people go around thinking that we're fighting these wars in all these different countries for what? We're fighting for not only their freedom, but for our freedom. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? But yet people believe it, right? But yet also, with that ideal of freedom, people in the United States especially think that you can be free and be totally free without justice. You can't. According to Maitreya and the Masters, justice and freedom are one and the same. They're two sides of the same coin. So you can't be truly free unless there's true justice in your country or the world or whatever. Just like you can't really have true peace without true justice. You know, everybody sees things as separate and unrelated. It's all one. And how that's going to affect our lives when we start to see things like that, I think it will amaze us. And these masters will demonstrate it for us when we see them on TV, when we see them in person and so forth. We'll start to pick up on the fact that there is nothing but unity. And when these masters are speaking to us, we'll feel it, even in our hearts. We'll feel that unity in our hearts because that's all they know. But in the meantime, and as always, take action. Help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos. Have a great day.